everyone, and welcome back to my second channel. So a few videos ago I talked about how I wanted to do a vision board and some planning for the new year, and I'm still working on my vision board, but I have kind of laid out my 2025 New Year's goals. And I actually had a subscriber comment how instead of doing just goals for the new year, they kind of did it monthly goals, which I really liked as well. I thought that was a great tip to help break it up because goals for the whole year can be a bit intimidating. So I thought that was a really great idea. So I've got here a list of some of my monthly goals and just overall general habits and things I want to start in 2025. So hopefully this can help motivate you guys if you feel like you also need some motivation for the new year, or maybe some ideas for things you want to implement this year as well into your routine. First and foremost, I'm going to go over some of my monthly little goals. First, I want to try a new recipe every 2 weeks and bake at least once a month. Now, eventually I think I'd like to get up to trying a new recipe every week, but initially that just seems like too much for me. So trying a new recipe every 2 weeks, this will also help improve my vegan cooking repertoire, and eventually I'll have my own little cookbook that I'm comfortable with, like cooking frequently, and also baking, because your girl has a really big sweet tooth. So I want to be able to right off the bat know how to bake like vegan cookies, vegan banana bread, things like that, easy, eventually without even having to follow a recipe. That's kind of like an overall goal I have in my life, to be like my grandma, how she doesn't even need to follow a recipe. But yeah, that's a smaller goal that I have in terms of cooking. Now, another monthly goal that I have is to try one new thing a month, whether this be doing like a painting class, going ice skating, pottery, I don't know, something creative for my brain. And I actually have seen a few, funny enough, on TikTok, a few people talking about how they haven't been feeding their like creative soul. And I really connected with that because I do so much for work that I rarely ever just connect with myself and do something creative just for me. So that's really what I want to focus on each month, is trying something new to just feed my creative brain. This also ties into more so my childhood, because I used to be so creative. I used to constantly paint and do arts and crafts and knitting and carpet making and all of that stuff. And I really lost it after university when I just started focusing on work, and I think it's important to reconnect with that part of myself. So something that I actually have been doing this month so far in January is taking a calligraphy class on Skillshare. And you may be thinking, Ocean, why would you take a calligraphy class? Because everything is online. And that is specifically why I wanted to take a calligraphy class, to get away from being online all the time. I feel like I'm constantly glued to a screen with my job, and I want to give my eyes a break and just feed into like being more connected with my brain and my hands, because I can't remember the last time I picked up a writing utensil. As mentioned, I've been taking this calligraphy class on Skillshare. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of them before because they are incredible, but if you have not, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across illustration, film, design, and many more. They are there to help you take your hobbies, your side hustles, your career, your productivity to the next level. And it's the perfect time to check out Skillshare because it's the new year. It's the perfect time to jumpstart that hobby, that side hustle that you may have been pushing off. So for me, I've been trying to take my creativity to the next level while also actively trying to de-stress. So I've been taking Molly Zuberthorpe's class, Calligraphy for Mindfulness, 8 reflections, and a meditative exercise. Class, she talks about how people really focus on the final product of the letters rather than enjoying the actual process of calligraphy. And I think this can apply to a broad range of categories, right? Where we're so focused on the end product that we don't enjoy the journey and the process itself. So I really like that she talks about that. And I've been slowly working on my calligraphy skills, and rather than trying to rush it and being hard on myself if it doesn't look perfect, just trying to really slow down my nervous system, just be present with myself. And I've been writing little love letters to myself, just short love letters, which also helps me embrace, self-love, mindfulness, and all of that. And I really like how I'm just connecting my brain to my body. Also talks about content production traps, which I know I get stuck in. And so this is basically where we're so focused on creating to share that we don't actually focus on just creating to create. And I can't remember the last time I did something creative just for me, as I mentioned. However, I will say that I do look forward to working on my calligraphy and being able to write my long distance boyfriend some beautiful old-fashioned love letters. But for now, I'm just enjoying the process. If you want to try Molly's class or one of the thousands of others on Skillshare, it's the perfect time to do so. The first 500 people who use my link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So start now. Let me know in the comments which class you are most excited to try. And huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. On note of trying to decompress and get away from the screen, each month I also want to focus on doing some more self-care, and I think I'm going to break this up into weeklies. So each week I want to do at least one self-care night, and this may be, doing something like calligraphy, but I want to kind of tailor it more so to trying out that hair mask that I've been saving for a special occasion, or having a bath with a fancy bath bomb. I want to focus more on self-care because last year I really neglected that. 2025 is not the year for neglecting ourselves. And then last but certainly not least, each month I want to do a monthly check-in on myself. So maybe this might be like journaling, or I might make a little Google Doc, but I kind of want to get away from that. I want to like physically write, a monthly check-in for myself to see how I managed my stress, what was really bogging me down that month, or what I was really proud of that month. I think that's really important to also recognize and celebrate many things that you've accomplished each month, and then you can also look back at it at the end of the year. So I'm looking forward to doing that as well, and I think that'll also help me recognize what my stressors are, oh my god, my laptop almost slid off the couch. But yeah, just doing a monthly check-in to see how I'm holding up throughout 2025. Now moving on to some overall goals. So the first one being the health category. Now this can look different for everyone, of course, but for me, I do want to start working out more. Last year, I got into the habit of working out 4 times a week, and I really loved it. I kind of got off track because I went and visited my dad, and now my boyfriend's visiting me, so I got out of the habit a little bit, but I do want to get back into it because working out just makes me feel so good. I really like moving my body, and especially because I used to play so many sports growing up, going to playing so many sports to no sports, like I can tell my body aches for movement. And I also want to make sure I'm focusing on exercise to strengthen like my joints and my smaller muscles that we might forget about, or that I wouldn't otherwise focus on, like my hips, for example. I know I have weak hips, and that's only going to get worse as I get older. So I want to focus on movement and just being stronger for the overall sake of, my health. So I want to start doing daily walks, whether that just be on the treadmill right now because it's so cold outside, or in the summer going for daily walks, even 25 minutes, going out, getting some fresh air. I'm really looking forward to that. It's -14 though, so I won't be doing that today, but doing daily walks as well to get some steps in, since I'm constantly sitting at a computer at my desk filming. And I do want to start eating healthier as well. That'll apply though when I start, cooking more and learning those new recipes. It's not that I eat unhealthy now. I just want to eat perhaps more whole foods, or for example, instead of buying like fake vegan chicken, maybe I want to learn how to make my own vegan chicken, or like vegan, I think it's called seitan. That might not be the word. Seitan? Well, it's definitely not Satan. Vegan or vegetarian, you know what I mean. I want to start making my own plant-based meat alternatives as well. Like I want to try that, or I want to try making my own like cashew milk. That would be so cool, So I don't want to Nara Smith it, but I definitely want to try making my own food so I know what's going into my foods. And then last but certainly not least, in the health category, this is really random, but I want to get my splits. I don't know why. Ever since I was little, I could never be able to do the full middle splits. I could do the left leg splits, but never the middle. I don't know why. It's something I want to bucket list cross off in my life. 2025, I'm gonna get my splits. On to, of course, work. We have to have some work goals, and lucky for me, I do absolutely love my job, and I also think that's why I oftentimes neglect just taking time for me, because when you love what you do so much and you're so passionate about it, it's hard to step away, right? Like you have to pry the microphone out of my hands when I'm filming ASMR. I love it so much. So I have some big goals for 2025, and the first being for my ASMR YouTube is improving my setup. Okay, your girl has invested. I got some new microphones, I got some lights, okay, and I'm gonna finally be using my camera. In 2023, I bought a camera and I never have used it. I used it for like once when I was traveling with my friend, and I bought it specifically for filming, and I still film on my phone. I wanna start using my camera. So I need to learn how to use it, but mark my words, this year I'm going to use that camera. I want to film some more immersive role plays because I really love those, and anytime I travel, filming role plays on location is extra fun. You know, I really love that immersive environment, focusing more on like props and all of that, just kind of building off of what I do each year, right? Each year I kind of grow in different ways, and so this year I'm really focusing though on improving my equipment. And then also for this channel, I do want to post once a week. That's kind of my goal for this channel. However, I don't put too much pressure on myself for this channel because it's really just for fun. It's like a video diary, and it's for when I don't feel like whispering and I just want to talk normally to you guys. But I do want to try and post once a week. Okay, now moving on to my clothing line. So my clothing line, I love her so much, but it has not been easy, okay? And I've always been really transparent with you guys. I still have not made a profit. This will be my 3rd year with my clothing line. She'll be turning 3 in July and still no profit, but 2025, mark my words, okay? Again, mark my words. I am determined to make a profit, whether it just be $5. I really want to make a profit this year with my clothing line. And this year I'm hoping to have 3 collections as well as a couple little restocks, whereas last year I only had 1 collection launch, which is actually crazy to think about. If you think about even like, obviously not fast fashion brands because that's not the goal, but if you think about smaller brands, even they usually have a spring, summer, winter, fall collection, you know, even just a few small pieces. I only had 1 collection launched last year, which is crazy, and that really hurt my cash flow. So this year, I'm trying to plan out my collections better and improve my cash flow so that I can hopefully make a profit. Of course, this is my first time ever running a business, like an e-commerce business, so I'm still learning as I go, but I'm really trying. And also this year, in terms of my clothing line, I want to change the aesthetic because I got away from the aesthetic that I wanted to. And I'm really proud of the collections that I did and the photo shoots that I've done, but it's just not the aesthetic that I want. My aesthetic that I want for my brand is countryside. I want cottagecore, okay? I want to make dresses that make you feel like you want to run around in a pretty field and be holding a lamb, you know, and pick flowers. That is the vibe. Whereas right now, if you look at my brand, I did like the Hollywood kind of Y2K collection, which was really fun, but it's not the brand, it's not my brand aesthetic. And what I made the mistake of for my brand is each collection, I did its own aesthetic, but I'm not a big enough company to do that and to maintain that. Whereas I need to have an overall brand aesthetic. So that's what I'm gonna try and get back into in 2025. I'm already planning out the collections to match that better. It'll take a while to transition, but I'm hoping by the end of next year, you can tell what my brand aesthetic is. It's not kind of all over the place, you know? So that is a goal of mine as well. And to do that, of course, I have to post more on socials, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest. I'm gonna be posting more, spending more time on my brand and less time mindlessly scrolling, because your girl can get into the habit of mindlessly scrolling when I'm like trying to find a trending sound, and then all of a sudden it's been 30 minutes and I haven't found a sound and I'm deep into TikTok. So I need to have more intentional scrolling, for example, for finding audios. And I also want to focus more on SEO and the analytical side of marketing. Like, what keywords do I need to be putting into my website to make people go to my brand? What email marketing strategies do I need to be doing? You know, for me, that's the not so fun side of owning a brand. Of course, I love packing orders and planning photo shoots and designing the pieces, but you have to do the not so fun stuff, which for me is, you know, the email marketing, the SEO and that stuff. And because I haven't made a profit, your girl cannot hire someone to do that. So I need to step up and do that. And I'm going to invest the time this year to figure it out. Some more overarching goals that I have is reading more and scrolling less. So I just touched on that, how, yeah, I do find myself mindlessly scrolling, and it's harder when you have a job in this space, because sometimes I can almost trick myself and be like, no, like I'm doing work, you know, like I'm looking for that trending sound, or I'm trying to find the next trend to make an ASMR video about, when it's like, really, I just spent 30 minutes, an hour scrolling and I haven't really gotten anywhere, you know? So I need to have more intentional scrolling to find audios or trends for my business. And you know, you do have to do that when you're trying to create like content that would go viral and, you know, whatnot. I don't really do that so much for my ASMR stuff because I pre-plan videos so much and it comes more naturally. But for like my clothing line stuff, you have to, you know, try and figure out the Instagram and TikTok algorithms, and that can be a bit trickier. But I want to have more intentional scrolling, and then also reading more. So instead of just scrolling, maybe I just read about what trends people are predicting for next month. Also, I just want to read more physical books. I can't remember the last time I picked up a book, guys. Like, that's sad. I used to love reading and I barely read anymore. So I really do want to read. Likely, I want to read more investing books, like how to invest your time, how to invest your money, you know, like just self-help books, I think. And on that point, I want to improve my financial literacy, because every year, of course, I have to meet with my accountant, like everyone does when you enter adulthood, and he'll be throwing out words at me and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, and I don't like that. So this year I'm going to really improve my financial literacy. He even offered to help tutor me, you know. It's really important that you understand, you know, like how to save and things like that. So that's a goal that I have for this year as well. And that'll also help play into my clothing line and Shopify business and those numbers too. Of course, on the fun side, just overarching goals, I would really love to be signed to a modeling agency. And I don't know, I just love modeling. I love being in front of the camera, especially because I have my own brand. Like I modeled for 2 brands last year in Los Angeles and in Miami. They were just fun shoots. They weren't paid, okay? Some people think like I did those shoots and I got paid. Like, no, I didn't. It was just for fun. And I really love it because I know how much work goes into designing, you know, items. Like I know the love and the heart that goes into designing the pieces. And so being able to model someone's dream, like, oh, it's just such a lovely feeling. And plus it's so much fun. You meet new people and I really adore it. Of course, I would only do it if, you know, it made sense and it was a positive environment for me. I wouldn't want to do like runway or anything like that. By no means am I tall enough to do that. But I think it'd be really fun to do like e-commerce stuff, or even like little commercials, or even like hand modeling. People say I have nice hands. Maybe I'll apply to be a hand model. I don't know. I think it'd just be fun, and I can apply to agencies. And if nothing comes of it, that's okay. I'll still do my fun photo shoots with my boyfriend. And yeah, I just really love modeling. Whenever I do the shoots with my boyfriend, I've mentioned this before, but it's like a date for us, you know? It's so much fun. I love planning the outfits. I love planning the poses and the locations. It brings me so much joy, and that's one of my creative outlets as well. So it's just overall really fun. And last but certainly not least, I do want to try and get into acting a little bit more. Last year, I only auditioned for one role, which was Legally Blonde, and you guys know I didn't get it. I didn't really expect to get it, but I'm really proud of myself that I even got an email reply from Hollywood. That was really cool. So I do want to apply for more acting roles. Like I said, even if it's commercials, or like, I wouldn't even mind being in a Hallmark movie, you know, just like something really like small, like I'm like a little Hallmark extra, you know. Obviously it'd be cool to be in a Netflix show, but with no acting experience, like acting school, that's really, it's a big feat. But I do love acting in my ASMR videos. All of that is improv. I love doing the accents and whatnot, so that would be a goal as well. So I'm gonna try and apply to more things. Maybe I'll get my little acting reel together and see what I can come up with, because I do really enjoy it. Yeah, guys, those are my 2025 goals and little dreams. I'm not sure what I'll be doing in terms of traveling and whatnot. You know that I hop around as well because my boyfriend is long distance, so that's the reason why I do travel more, as well as my dad. He's all the way across Canada, so I hop around to see people. So who knows where the new year will take me, but I think having those goals are a great starting point, and I'm really excited to see what I come up with, and working on my vision board has been so fun. So let me know in the comments as well what your big goals or dreams are for this year. Hopefully we can all stay positive and attain or reach our goals, and even if we don't, that's okay. It's all about trying and the journey. Also, be sure to check out Skillshare. Like I said, the first 500 people to use my link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so start now. I love you all so much. I hope you have the best 2025, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.